Who's best player? Who are the best players in the Premier? Who's the best player in the Premier League right now? We've just seen Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer just won the England Player of the Year, which has triggered a lot of people. But who are the top 3 players in the Premier League? Right, we're going to do top 3 Premier League players so far this season. Let's go.
Virgil van Dijk's got to be there.
Hang on, let's start with Henry, because otherwise we'll all talk over each other.
Cole Palmer, Erling Haaland. This season?
Come on, Henry.
This season so far.
Yeah, Virgil or I probably would put Gravenberch third. I think he's been without him, that midfield completely crumbles. I think that midfield completely crumbles. But you can there's an argument for Saliba, there's an argument for Saka, there's an argument for Van Dijk. No, probably Palmer, Van Dijk, and Haaland. They've been the best 3. Closely followed by there's an honourable mention for about 5 players.
Ram, if you put McAllister in there, it's actually beef, bro. Big
No, I'm looking at the comments. They're so triggered about that McAllister comment.
I don't understand. Like, is that a reasonable ranking? That's not in order, by the way. That's just the players: Palmer, Haaland, Van Dijk.
That's my ranking.
I hear it.
I think, but just on that Cole Palmer award, that is I'm not triggered by it. But how Jude Bellingham did not win that award is an absolute disgrace.
Oh,
La Liga Player of the Year.
No, it ain't. Yeah.
Okay, let me just give you the argument.
I don't give a shit about rating in La Liga. It's England Player of the Year.
Right.
Okay. Last minute goal against Slovakia. Let's not do that.
For England.
For England, yes. Contributions, then Palmer.
Don't
right?
care.
Champions League. Okay, by that logic, then... Did
he play in the Champions League for England?
No. Yeah, but
what have we turned into the Chelsea Terrace now, Terry? Come on.
No, do you know why? Do you know why he won it? I do get the argument he didn't deserve it. Do you know why? England, for the vast majority of the last 12 months, as a collective, we've been shit. We have. Right? As a collective, results have been bad, not been great. You've got to remember when people vote on these things, they don't do, and I don't mean that we are not superior on opinions to any other normal fan. I don't believe that. The difference is, though, we do the shows, we do more research, we get challenged more, we learn more from each. One of the biggest reasons I started this platform is so we could all learn from each other in different points of view. A lot of people vote, and they just vote based on their short-term memory. And if you think as an England fan, short-term memory of the 2 or 3 good moments that have happened in the last year, I am not surprised that Cole Palmer comes on top. Set up the goal in the semi-final that sent us into raptures, and he did in the biggest game, one of the biggest games for England ever, scored a goal that equalized us and gave us all hope. I absolutely understand why he was voted for by the fans, because yes, Bellingham had a great opening game and that goal against Slovakia, but Bellingham had a really poor tournament overall. He went missing in loads of games. The season before, when Saka won it, of course he was going to win it. The man teared up the World Cup. The average England fan thinking about who deserves it goes, oh, Saka. You know, Saka at the World Cup. Football fans remember moments. They're not sitting there like, say, fan content creators do. Even the viewers who are watching, they watch a lot of football and then they come to our shows. Most football fans don't do that. Most football fans are watching the game here, game there. The game finishes, they turn it off and put on Emmerdale. And they remember the moments. So I just think people have got to realize that he's won it because he had some really good moments for England. And I'm not saying he's the most deserving, but I totally understand it. Like, people getting really triggered about it. Like, you probably wanted Kane to win it because you're Spurs. Arsenal wanted Saka to win it.
Say Kane.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're like. I just
by that logic, by that logic, Harry Kane scores the winner against Slovakia.
Stinker. He had a stinker of a tournament.
Goal scorer.
Stinker. But
that's how good Kane is. At his worst level, he's still our top goal scorer.
Yes, but people remember him stinking out most of them games. People remember Palmer coming on and changing it. It's the moments.
Yeah, but
fans remember moments.
Changing it. If Jude doesn't get that goal against Slovakia, we don't get anywhere near that final.
But fans remember that whole game, how bad he and Kane and everybody else were to all them goals.
I mean, there's an argument for Palmer, but if we're talking,
Just say I'm
club
right.
level-
Just say I'm right.
No,
Just say
but
I'm
even
joking. I'm
it's the
joking.
whole
One
year.
second,
though.
Terry.
It's the whole
Is
year.
it only based on England performances? Because I'm thinking they're voting for him because he's performing well. For
Maybe.
Chelsea.
Well, again, it's meant to be, but you are right. Maybe there's a lot of Chelsea fans voted as well. Maybe people
They're
are
not on the
thinking about
same
his league.
level if we're talking club level. Due to the Vinny's goal in the Champions League final, La Liga Player of the Year, 28 goal contributions from midfield /10, wins La Liga, and player
many
of
goals
Real
did he
Madrid
score
at
in the
a different level.
Are you forgetting something though, Henry?
How many
How
goals did
many-
he score in the Prem?
Yeah, but how many average day-to-day England fans are watching La Liga
But
regularly?
everyone watches the Champions League, and when you see
No. Again, it's let's say they're now voting on what people did at club level. Is it not conceivable? Just tell me if it's conceivable that the average England fan saw and watched Cole Palmer play and perform more last season than Jude Bellingham in a league that they don't watch.
And yeah,
That's why this is. It's not even it's not an agenda. I'm just saying we are ignoring the logic behind it and getting it wrong. I get why Palmer won it. I do. I'm not saying that he was the most deserving. By the way, I'd have given it to Mark Gahey. That's who I would have voted for because he was our best player at the Euros. He was the only guy that was consistent in every single game that he played. Mark Gahey, he deserved it. Everybody else either didn't play enough or was up and down. But I get it. But back to the actual point of the show. Top three players in the Premier League right now, Igal.
Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, Erling Haaland. Very simple. And I think anybody
Because in what order from best to third?
best would be Erling Haaland, second would be Bukayo Saka, third would be Cole Palmer. Number one, Cole Palmer and Erling Haaland are performing in Europe and in the league. Let's not.
Hang on, is this just Premier League or is this Premier League?
One second. This is the best players.
This is so far this season in all the competitions they play.
Consistently, week in, week out, Saka and Haaland are not only performing in a Premier League level, they're performing in the Champions League. Let's be honest, Cole Palmer has been given the season off for the whole group stages or league stages in the Conference League. So that is a factor, number one. Number two, if we're going to talk about statistics, those are the three players who have the highest output out of any player in the league. I'm not putting any defenders in there. I'm just saying right now, who are the match winners? Who are the biggest players in this league? Erling Haaland, number one. Number two, Bukayo Saka. And number three, Cole Palmer. And if you were to say who are the three faces of the league right now this season, those are the three guys you probably think of the most when you think of the league right now. And I think it's fair to put it in that order. And the reason why I have Cole Palmer in there third, it's not solely because of the GA. You can put him higher than Saka and Haaland. What is he doing week in, week out? He's performing, but is he asked to perform midweek? No. But yeah, that's my main reasoning. If anyone disagrees, please tell me why.
Do you know Mohamed Salah's actually got more goal contributions this season than Palmer and Saka?
Fair enough. But Mohamed Salah is not spoken about week in, week out. The factor is,
but
reality,
he is. He's just not as praised.
He's not. Saka, Cole Palmer are the talking points every single day because they are performing at the age that they are at a high level. Mo Salah has performed at a better level than this that he's performing at now in the past. You could say Mo Salah should be in that category, but I was asked for top three, not top four, not top five. The last two games, where was Mo Salah?
Well, didn't he get the winner against Wolves?
Bro.
Did he?
He got the winner against Wolves.
I might be mistaken. But regardless, I still believe I would have Saka, Cole Palmer, and Foden ahead of not Foden. Foden is not even top 15 right now, the way he's performing. But I'll put Saka, I'll put Palmer, Saka, and Haaland in that order. So Haaland number one, Saka number two, Palmer number three.
I take the same three, but in a different order. In it, I'd say Palms first, then Saka, then Haaland, only because of, as you said, the consistency over the period of games. And I hear what you say about Van Dijk, but for me, again, I just don't think Liverpool have faced any opposition.
You put Saka this season above Erling Haaland?
That's mad.
No,
I did.
Wait,
I think
put Saka first.
No. You said Haaland Saka, Palmer. What did you say? You said
I'm saying
You
Palmer,
went-
Saka, Haaland.
Haaland in third.
I don't think he's done anything like for me to say that he deserves to
Bro,
want to be
he's
top.
got 11 goals.
Yeah, but it's Haaland,
He's
isn't
got like
it?
11 goals, I swear.
Yeah, but like
Oh,
that's standard. Like we say, oh, it's Haaland, in it. Like there's no other player.
Yeah, but if you're doing
in
it
the
for Mo
league.
Salah, why can't I do it for Haaland?
That's fair.
Because he's scored 10. Well, he's got 10 goals in 7 games.
Yeah, but
That
we've seen
is
this. We know this,
crazy
but like,
numbers.
but no one, people are.
Yeah, but
rather
hang
talking
on.
about-
There's an argument because you can
Saka
do it
and
for
Palmer.
Salah because he's been doing it for 7-8 years and he's 32. Haaland is the same age as Saka.
Bro, we didn't-
That's
we didn't
what's
ask about
mad.
his ages. I'm just saying.
Palmer
like,
is the same age as both of them.
That's
Who,
how I
sorry?
feel.
Palmer and they're all the same
No,
age. huh?
Palmer's a year younger.
Is he?
But that
That's
makes
what's
a whole
mad.
lot
People
of
forget
difference, innit?
Haaland's 22, 23, and he's already got nearly 200 goals in his career.
People can say man shameless, but for me, Haaland is getting on the end of things and scoring goals, cool. But Saka's driving his team forward. When Odegaard's not there, he's stepping up, he's getting assists, like he's making things pop. So that's just my opinion why I'm going to say Saka. You look at the match. I don't do the match ratings thing, but Saka's on an 8.11, and neither Palmer or Haaland are on 7s. I'm just saying, like,
Shameless,
nothing
you're
I'm saying here is crazy. Like, I hear what you're saying about he's got 10 goals, cool. But yes, we know Haaland gets on the end of things. Saka's driving my team forward week in, week out. He's winning the game. So that's just mad. My
Yeah,
opinion,
let
innit?
me play devil's advocate on
I'm
that.
being
quickly, right?
shameless. And I still
Let me
said
play
Palmer.
devil's
So
advocate.
if I'm being shameless, why would I say Palmer first? That don't make sense. But yeah.
If Real Madrid or Bayern Munich right now could sign one player, would they choose sign Haaland or Saka?
Real Madrid, I think, might pick Saka because they look very unbalanced right now. With everyone drumming to
Well,
the
you
left
say
hand
that,
side.
Terry.
They
Mbappe
might.
could play on the right and Haaland in the middle. It
They
stops
could.
people
They
going
could.
forward.
That's why I picked Real Madrid because there's an argument there.
There's an
Yeah.
argument. Yeah, listen. Again, would Bayern Munich prefer Saka on the right, or would they replace Kane with Haaland? Did you say Bayern Munich? Or am I
Yeah.
tripping? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said because obviously get
Look, I think the top three have been. I would. It's hard actually because I think Gravenberch deserves a shout. I think no one's mentioned Caicedo. I think Caicedo has been immense so far this season, but we are talking top three here. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Top three. You probably have to look at the. I'm gonna go Palmer, Gravenberch.
Virgil.
Saka. I would go with those three. Just again, we start going top 4, top 5. Then Virgil's there, Caicedo's there, Haaland's there. Haaland's had the goals. There's no doubt about it. But when I'm looking again, the way Saka driven his team forward, I just think overall, even when he's not scoring and assisting, Cole Palmer. You watch the game against Forest. Some of the stuff he did in that game, that touch that he had. I know the goalie made a great save to knock it around the player and run onto the ball.
Didn't that come off the Forest player? I don't think he touched it, you know.
There's
one
an
angle.
argument for Gabriel here.
The
as
one
well.
angle. Sorry. One angle looks like that, and then I saw another angle where you can clearly see it comes off his foot, and you can see Palmer shape his foot for the movement. And I was like, wow. So it's look. I'm not just disrespecting any of those players, but top three makes it a harder decision to make. But for me, Palmer, Saka, Gravenberch would probably be, just personally speaking, my top three so far this season. I think they've been a Gravenberch. I'm actually at a point where I want to say Gravenberch number one. I just think he's, because of the others, I kind of expected them to be really good. Gravenberch has done this out of nowhere. Not just, I know he's a good midfielder, but doing it in a kind of DM role, I think Gravenberch has just been amazing. And again, he's a Liverpool player. He's my biggest rivals, despise the football club from a footballing perspective. But I've got to praise it. I've got to be honest and say what I truly feel. I think Ryan Gravenberch has been an absolute sensation this season. He really has.
I agree.
Is no one going to throw Raya out there?
No, but if we did a top 10, it would be a different
I'm not saying
story.
top 3, but like he's not miles away. Without he's made like he's had 4 games this season where the guy's been a flipping joke.
Henry, I think this is a video idea. Top 10 players in the Premier League so far.
I love people that are telling me that I've got a Haaland agenda. When, as a Man United fan, I've literally said he's the best finisher Europe has seen since R9. Where's the fucking agenda? I've said he's the best finisher the Premier League has ever had. Where's the agenda? I slag off everyone that calls him a tapping merchant because that is the laziest piece of analysis ever. If tap-ins were easy, everybody else would do it. I stood next to him, shoulder to shoulder, against all the allegations of League Two player. I predicted when he joined the Premier League, he would break Salah's record in the first season, and he did, and I got laughed at for it. There's no Haaland agenda. I'm just talking about overall so far this season. I'd put 3 other players slightly above him in overall performances. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Would you put Mbeumo top 10?
Yes, yes. And Mbeumo's been. I mean, he's a shout for number 1 if you want to go pound for pound. Pound for pound, he's a shout for number 1.
Hasn't he got 5 goals this season?
Done
6.
very well.
He's
Done very well. Done
Oh,
very
it's-
well this
it's-
season. He's very good. Who else has been great this
Would
year?
Havertz sneak in though?
No.
Quite, don't know. Do you know who
If
another striker? I'll tell you a striker I'd throw in there.
Duran.
No, Duran's in there, but also I want to say Delap. It's
Liam Delap.
Liam Delap. Ipswich looks really good. Duran goes into that conversation. There's no doubt about it.
Wait, I say this, Danny Welbeck.
Well,
Nah, I'm not.
How many goals does Delap have?
Spurs.
How
Yeah,
many
but we're
goals does Delap have?
But we're talking
Fine.
pound for pound here. It's hard. Like the level that the team he's got, the
Ipswich.
quality around him. Oh,
What about Brennan
He's done
Johnson?
well.
Because there's that trending clip of the guy who said,
I'm not even taking the piss. I'm not even taking the piss. Is Brendan Johnson not in there?
but you don't like it.
he's had 5
I
games.
don't care that I like him. I'm asking you guys.
Then Diaz should be in there.
Do you know what?
He's in the
I'm
top
making
20,
a
innit?
shameless claim as well. My team's been crap, but I'm throwing Maswari in there. I think he's been brilliant this season. Individually, he's been great. But get well
Big
soon
miss,
after your
eh?
heart. Get well soon, actually, mate, after your heart operation today. So get well soon, my friend, and be a very minor one. They've said should be a few weeks until he's back. Brendan Johnson's probably in the top 20 because I don't think his performances have been great. Scored goals though.
I think if we're bringing Johnson and Havertz, then Diaz is in the conversation. Then
Yeah, Diaz.
It's not
You could argue
reflected,
Diaz has
then.
performed well though. Overall, looked
Yeah.
really good. Chris Wood is a shout at Forest. Chris Wood is a
I
shout.
think
Gabriel
like,
Magalhaes.
who? Sorry.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, I said
Who's
that
that?
second ago.
Who?
The
Oh.
centre back.
Terry.
I know who he is.
So he's got who he scored against Spurs, Villa, and City, didn't he?
And
Or he
City,
didn't
yeah.
score against Villa.
No, he scored against City and Spurs.
There we go. A few super
Only
chats
goals
here.
Richarlison scored, bro.
Salah, Elise, Rodrigo, Vinny, Yamal, Palmer, Foden, all better than Saka.
Madness.
Rodrigo, Elise, Yamal, Palmer, and Foden are not better than Saka.
Yamal's better.
No. The
okay.
only people on that list that are 100%, I don't think there's too much of a debate, that are better with no small margins is Vinny and Salah. That's it.
Yamal is.
I don't know because Yamal's young in it. For that, the fact that Yamal's young at that
Nah,
age.
he's
Yamal had his first season. Let's check.
I know, but his
Yeah, he's
ceiling's
great.
looking higher, bro. I'll be real. His ceiling's looking